Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we're going to listen to a Steely Dan song by from 1974 from the album called Pretzel Logic, and this is one of the few we haven't done, I guess, on the channel, or that we haven't heard. There are, you know, just like, I don't know, maybe 10 or so songs left from the first, I think, 6 albums or so. So yeah, so this request, thank you so much, Great Scott, for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it. And this video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to listen to the song twice. One time I'm just going to react to the song. It's a very short song. It's a little bit under 3 minutes. So we're just going to listen to the music at first, and then we're going to listen to it again. And this is also an epic pick. This is a longer, usually a longer song. This is a 12-minute reaction usually. Great Scott and I, we kind of like talked back and forth, and he's like, I didn't know how to request this because usually you don't listen to the song twice. But yeah, I think it was a good idea, and especially since it's Steely Dan, it's always going to be interesting. But the second time around, we're going to watch a video. The guy who did a, I think, yeah, let me see. Great Scott told me that it was, let me see if it is the same illustrator who we watched for, was it for Genesis? Give me 1 second. So the song is called Charlie Freak, Pretzel Logic. And it says here there is an illustrated version with the lyrics, but it doesn't say. I don't know if I misread that, because remember when we did Genesis, the lamb, but I don't think that's the same one. Yeah, well, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So let's listen to the song, and then we're gonna get into the lyrics. And so yeah, so again, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching the channel, there's a lot of Steely Dan reactions on this channel. Usually I do these with my wife, Alexia, but she's not home. And you know, I wanted to and sometimes she doesn't have the time to do these, so I do them by myself. But usually I play her everything, you know, that she misses. There's like a list. But yeah, so let's focus here on Charlie Freak. So let's give it up for Steely Dan 1974. Here we go, and then we're gonna pull up the video. All right.
Charlie Freak had but one thing to call his own. 3-weight ounce pure golden ring, no precious stone. 5 nights without a bite, no place to lay his head. And if nobody takes him in, he'll soon be dead. On the street he spied my face, I heard him hail. In a plot of frozen space he told his tale. Poor man, he showed his hand, so righteous was his need. And me so wise, I bought his prize for chicken feed. Newfound cash soon bakes to smash a state of mind. Close inspection fast revealed
right. Okay. So so the music, it was kind of difficult just to focus on the music, but the music was very, this was much more classical influence than the usual, like Steely Dan. It sounded almost like Dave Brubeck, you know. Thelonious Monk. There's a classical passage almost, you know, in this there weren't, because it wasn't a lot of chord progressions, it was more like this theme, you know. Very cool. It's very straightforward, very short and fast, and as I wanted to kind of like take a peek at the lyrics, but I was like, no, let's just do this the way Great Scott requested. So yeah, I think the music is very, I love that it's just piano, drums, and the guitar almost like, it sounded like backwards, but it was electric guitar. I don't know, maybe some kind of steel guitar, although I don't know, maybe just some delay and distortion, you know, coming through there. But yeah, beautiful piano, but very classical influence. Like I hear, like, you know, Rondell le Turc, Dave Brubeck, Thelonious Monk, you know, that kind of like the typical jazz pianists that come from a classical background, you know, that's what it sounded like. So but yeah, let's check out the lyrics. Let's check out the video and then let's analyze the lyrics. So I do have the, let me just pull this over here. I have the video pulled up here on YouTube. Let's put the volume up. And let's see. Big screen. And, ooh, wow. I got this. All right, let's close this so it doesn't lag. So I now found out also why it was lagging, and the lag is now over. So here we go. Charlie Freak Illustrated. This is a little bit longer. Let's see why. But yeah, let's pay attention to the lyrics here.
Charlie Freak had but one thing to call his own. 3-weight ounce pure golden ring, no precious stone. 5 nights without a bite, no place to lay his head. And if nobody takes him in, he'll soon be dead. On the street he spied my face, I heard him hail. In a plot of frozen space he told his tale. Poor man, he showed his hand, so righteous was his need. And me so wise, I bought his prize for chicken feed. Newfound cash soon bakes to smash a state of mind. Close inspection fast revealed his favorite kind. Poor kid, he overdid, embraced the spreading haze. And while he sighed, his body died in 15 ways.
Wow. Yeah.
When I heard, I grabbed a cab to where he lay.
Let's see. In memory of Walter Becker, written by Walter Becker. Okay. Let's give the credits here. Nathaniel Barlam. Wow. Yes, of course I know what it means. Maybe it is the guy, because that looks like a cover from Peter Gabriel. Yes. So it is the same guy who did the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second here. Let's close this. So, yes, it got, obviously, yes, just like Great Scott mentioned. I mean, it's a tale, you know, it's not particularly dark. I mean, it's sad because it is about Charlie Freak, who pretty much, you know, I mean, it's a homeless man with no food, no bed, no home, and without, you know, having eaten anything. And I want to see if this is a true story. Let's see if this actually happened, maybe to Walter. So the man buys the ring, of course, and what does Charlie do instead of going, you know, I mean, but it's also like, I bought his precious thing, not the precious, not the Lord of the Rings, but I bought his, you know, his ring, and then I gave him like nothing, and then basically he bought drugs, and then he overdosed, and unfortunately that's the tragedy, you know, that sometimes you can't really help people with just like a little bit, you know. And basically he sold what the last thing he had left just to pretty much kill himself, you know. That's the sad thing. And then the man realizes, he rushes back in a cab, gets there, and it says dead on arrival, and he's basically, oh my god, I gave him this money so he could kill himself, you know. That's horrible. And then he gives him the ring back. I don't know when it says that he took his hand and then he took him, I don't know what that really means. Maybe he let's see. Charlie Freak, true story. Let's say, oh, okay, I love it here. Steely Dan discussion. Daily song discussion. Charlie Freak. I am of course on Reddit. Yeah, it says, I love the line, and me so wise I bought a spice for chicken feed. Yeah. Very underrated in my opinion. Such a journey. One of my favorites. A twisted Steely Dan nursery rhyme. Based on a true story. Oh wow. Walter Becker met a homeless man who was selling a gold ring. He bought it later and came back, and he found the homeless man had overdosed on drugs. So it is a true story by Walter Becker. So this actually happened. Wow. That's crazy. It says newfound cash soon backs to smash a state of mind. That's the thing, you know, with addiction. But that's what I love about Steely Dan. And you know, we, like Alexia and I, we go and do this, but not on a first reaction, because it's so hard, you know, to listen to a Steely Dan song and just ignore the music, you know, and just focus on the lyrics. You can't do both. It's too much, you know, because in every song there's so much musical, it's so rich, and it's so full of amazing things that you can just, like, you can either focus on the music, but then also to analyze the lyrics. It would just be a massive video undertaking, you know. And then two people, you know, we would be interrupting each other, which occurs quite a lot. You know, I'm guilty. It says, not just my favorite song by Steely Dan, but one of my favorite songs of anywhere ever. Wow. To me, this is a Steely Dan experiment that doesn't quite work musically. Great lyrics, though. I like the music. You know, there's so much opinions here, of course. Jack and Coke together just makes sense. Jack Daniels. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about the, you know, when he takes him home, but I guess it's like almost like an angel who takes him, you know, to heaven. This was very cool. Thank you so much, Great Scott, because yes, if I would listen to the song, I would have just noticed the piano and the music. I would have ignored the lyrics. But that's, you know, I don't do it on purpose. It's just that's the thing, the first thing that comes to my mind as a musician and somebody who composes and writes music and plays music. I'm not a writer of lyrics. I'm a writer of music. I write music, and I just don't focus on the lyrics. And Alexia, I think, is the same. She focuses more on, you know, the chords. And now that she's also reading music, I got her to read music, and she does it quite well. She's also more interested in what's going on musically. And that's sometimes, I know it's a shame, but you miss the lyrics, and especially with Steely Dan. But I think Steely Dan is not designed to be a reaction music that you react on a first time listening. Steely Dan you have to listen to 20, 30, 50 times because you always hear something new. We've heard songs like Glamour Profession and Caves of Altamira and, you know, Asia hundreds of times by now, and we always hear something new. Whether it be some kind of like, I don't know, beat that's in there hidden, you know, by Steve Gadd, you know, or some solo or something, some crazy chord, you know. So Steely Dan is optimal, obviously. I think you have to listen to Steely Dan 10, 15 times to really know what's going on. Just one song, you know. After the 10th time, then you could actually talk about it, you know. So we're just, when we listen to Steely Dan on a first time reaction, we're just amazed how good it is, how rich it is. But the lyrics, you know, if we can keep up, are not really in the forefronts, you know. But the good thing is, once we're done, once we edit the video, we listen to it and we're like, oh my Lord, the lyrics are so good. And then there's songs, you know, like for example, we do Simply Red, you know, Holding Back the Years, but on the first listen, you can listen to the lyrics because it's just two chords on a vamp, you know, on repeat, and it's just easier. But something like Steely Dan that's so sophisticated is just way more, you know, difficult to digest on a first time listening. This was very, very good. Thank you so much, Great Scott. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very beautiful music. Very amazing lyrics as always. I think every Steely Dan song is, you know, a little diamond by itself. You know, Donald Fagen and Walter Becker are geniuses. Walter Becker, may he rest in peace. You know, and that's what you get, you know, when you work with people like that. So again, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first video, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel for more content. And thank you so much. I'll see you all in the next one.